What is effectiveness? Humanitarian effectiveness refers to the extent to which humanitarian response meets the critical needs of affected people, alleviating suffering and preventing death during crises. Humanitarian actors are concerned with the effectiveness of their interventions, organizations, and the whole humanitarian system. At a program or project level, effectiveness involves assessing how interventions accomplish their objectives. Measuring effectiveness requires different indicators depending on the context and sector. For example, in wash interventions, it may be relevant to measure the proportion of households with access to soap. At an organizational level, effectiveness involves ensuring that interventions are carried out in contextually appropriate ways by people with the right skill sets, that they have a positive impact, and that organizations are accountable to donors and beneficiaries. Multiple factors can undermine humanitarian effectiveness. Humanitarians may face limited access to populations due to insecurity and restrictions, or face funding gaps and resource shortages for their programs. The degree of involvement of local governments and civil society in a response may have an impact on humanitarian effectiveness too. Humanitarians may fail to engage local actors, or local actors may lack capacity to support or take ownership of projects. Government effectiveness also conditions humanitarian effectiveness, either as a contributing factor to crises or as an obstacle to aid delivery and access. Humanitarians seek to improve effectiveness by monitoring and evaluating interventions, conducting research, managing knowledge, and testing innovations. Better collaboration among stakeholders, for example, by sharing knowledge, harmonizing procedures, and establishing minimum standards, is thought to improve collective effectiveness. Partnerships with academic institutions and the private sector are also seen as ways to introduce innovations that can enhance effectiveness. Various reforms have been undertaken to improve coordination, make responses more predictable, and improve system-wide effectiveness. In seeking better effectiveness, humanitarian actors have engaged in activities regarded as development work, especially in the areas of prevention, preparedness, disaster risk reduction, capacity building, and other long-term projects. These efforts, however, bring humanitarian actors closer to political actors, who may seek to place conditions on aid and jeopardize humanitarian independence. Whether overall humanitarian effectiveness is improving, as well as how to measure it, remains a controversial topic. While sector-specific and system-wide standards set collective objectives and provide general indicators to measure effectiveness across programs and organizations, critics question whether all dimensions of humanitarian effectiveness can be quantified. They warn that an excessive focus on measurement may undermine effectiveness by incentivizing organizations to prioritize meeting indicators rather than the needs of affected people themselves. To learn more, visit humanitarianencyclopedia.org.